We're going to the quiet side of Acadia National Park. Acadia National Park was established more than 100 years ago, but it wasn't created so much as it was assembled. They first started the park, wrapped up some of the best parts of it, and then kept adding pieces along the way. So you can go from private land to park land like that and back out again. All of the harbors on the quiet side of Mount Desert Island are productive in winter. Ducks can come in right close to the pier, right at your feet. So loons, always lots of loons in here in winter, and all kinds of different plumages. Sometimes the long-tailed ducks are right next to you. You are never going to get this close to a black guillemot again. And there are usually buffleheads out here too. Coming out of Northeast Harbor, take Millbrook to Sargent Drive and follow that. You end up here. This is Somme Sound. There are very few fjords in the United States. This is a glacially carved valley that eventually filled in with seawater. It's deep, it's also sheltered, so sea ducks like to come in here, especially at certain prevailing winds. All right, one loon, two loons, one black guillemot, long-tailed duck flying by. This whole underwater valley is 5 miles long. Sometimes I just take this road for the scenery. It's breathtaking. Southwest Harbor. In the dead of winter, this place is anything but dead. Southwest Harbor has several things going for it. It's very sheltered, so there's a ton of loons in here. There's probably 2-3 dozen loons right out in front. All winter long, if you want to hear long-tailed ducks, just come sit right here. They're all over the harbor. You can count on buffleheads, probably a lot of them in the corners. Pretty good place for red-breasted mergansers. Probably won't find a lot of eiders or scoters in here, just not the right food supply for them. There are 3 places I suggest you start in Southwest Harbor, and the first one is the main pier, the main commercial pier where a lot of the boats are stored for the winter, so it's pretty quiet during the off-season. Another spot you can try is Upper Town Dock. It's midway down Clark Point Road. Harbormaster goes out of here. It's accessible in winter. You can try your luck here. And then on Clark Point Road, you can go all the way down to where the U.S. Coast Guard is located. Right next to it, Beals. Everything you'd ever want to know about lobster. And right next to Beals Lobster Pier is the Lower Town Dock. This could not be more convenient. Close to the water, close to the birds. The loons are so tame because they see people all the time, they think you're part of the furniture. Excellent spot for long-tailed ducks. In fact, you can probably hear them calling now. So why is this the quiet side? Well, the other side is busier. It's where Bar Harbor is. It's where the cruise ships come in. It's where the whale watch and tour boats go out. It's where most of the hotels and major restaurants are. This side, a little quieter. Same deal in Bass Harbor. It's secluded, so some of the ducks, especially loons, will like to get in this harbor and stay there out of the surf. So you'll find buffleheads and long-tailed ducks swimming amongst all the lobster boats out there. Same deal, there are 3 places in Bass Harbor you may want to check out. First, follow Shore Road, a little piece of road that follows the shore down to Seafood Catch Restaurant. There's usually a good look at the harbor from fairly close right there. Next spot, come to Bass Harbor Ferry that goes over to Swans Island. Right here in this spot, there's more open ocean as the harbor exits into the sea, and you might find scoters and eiders and long-tailed ducks diving fairly close to the pier. Last stop, Bass Harbor Head Light. A light station has been here since 1858. This lighthouse is reputed to be maybe one of the top 4 lighthouses photographed in the state of Maine. It's well over a mile to the other side of the channel, and that may seem like a lot, but there's so much ocean rushing between here as the tide changes that the food gets churned up for the birds, and black guillemots are always here, and in the winter red-breasted mergansers are a safe bet. Now in winter this can be icy, so if it's really too bad, don't go down. Seawall in Manset. This may be my favorite spot in all of Acadia National Park. It's the perfect combination. It's open ocean all the way to Nova Scotia, and yet it's sheltered by the seawall and the tree line back there, so on most winds it tends to be fairly common here, and the waterfowl will come in pretty close, so you get a lot of common loons. All 3 scoters, although white-winged scoter are a little less common than the others, red-necked and horned grebes, buffleheads, long-tailed ducks. Well, that's one way to know it's still winter. The long-tailed ducks are still in their bright breeding plumage. See, long-tailed ducks do this weird thing. They nest up in the subarctic, but they form their pair bonds down here in winter. So they wear their bright colors here and change into their dull colors just before going north. That way when they arrive and start nesting, they're already in colors that are a little harder for predators to detect. Just south of Seawall, there's a national park picnic area that you've always got to check out no matter what time of year. At high tide, gulls are always going to be roosting on these rocks. You can always sort through and see how many different species you find. This is one of 3 videos that tells you how to bird Acadia National Park in winter. You can also bird the noisier side over by Bar Harbor, and you can go over to Schoodic Point in Winter Harbor. Now, not everybody knows how to bird Acadia National Park in winter, so if you give this video a like, more people may find out. Thanks.